How's it going, everyone? We're watching some hoops as usual. I was just gonna watch this game and take notes on it like myself, so I figured why not do it live and take notes and talk while I do it and milk some content, etc. etc. Um, we're watching Ace Bailey versus Cam Boozer from last November. It should be fun. I'm just gonna tweet the stream out. I'm just tweeting out the stream and sending it to my group chats that probably hate me. Awesome. Hope everyone's having a nice day so far. Yeah, this is Ace Bailey, Cam Boozer from City of Palms last year, I believe. Anyways, I'm just gonna start watching the film as people trickle in. We will do our best with this camera angle. But that's unfortunately how a lot of high school film is. We don't really have great option. But Ace Bailey, right here, tall, lanky dude, Cam Boozer, who this is almost a calendar year ago for Cam Boozer. So he was still 16 years old in this game. Can we please sit down so I can watch? Ooh, great pass by him. Is that Ace Bailey getting a deflection? Actually, no, it's not. It's actually Ace Bailey getting backdoored, kind of, and his guy ends up saving him. Um, anyways, solid stuff. How's it going, our lucky? Oh, I'm sure. Wait, yeah, this is off. How's it going, everyone? Hoping everyone's doing well today. I know I'm having a solid Wednesday. I'm hyped for Survivor to be back. Any other Survivor fans here? Ooh, nice air ball from Cam Boozer. Nice air ball. We love to see Cam Boozer airballing shots now. Obviously, folks who watch any of my streams or videos know how much I love Cam Boozer, and Ace Bailey is a really awesome prospect too. Yeah, this camera angle is going to be what it is, and we'll make, like I said, a lot of high school film is really crappy, and it just is what it is. With the ball in his hand, that's Jace Richardson. Jace, who is Jason Richardson's other kid, he's going to Michigan State this year, and he's a really damn good player. So I'm excited to watch him. He's always a fun time. And as always, feel free to ask any questions you want. I'm just going to put Q&A in the title because I feel like whenever I do that, people ask questions. I'm like, you don't have to only we don't have to only talk about the game in front of us, even though I obviously will do plenty of talking about the game in front of us. Yeah, jersey numbers are basically impossible in a game like this, so it's going to be a lot of just, knowing what the hell what on earth is going on here. Is that Jay Nash maybe? Ooh, airball. This is annoying, but I think Caden might be out this game. I don't think Caden played in this game. Ooh, great pass by Boozer. Just beautiful little lay down there from the great pass by Boozer there. Ace. Good shot by Ace. That is a three, but that's a high school three. I always want to see the guys taking pull-ups from deeper out. That's a really impressive shot. Ace is a really, really impressive shot maker, as we all know. That's his thing. That's what he does. What's up, Hudson? How's it going? I assume you mean Ben Saraf, Hoodlum, Ben Safar, Ben Saraf. Maybe at some point. I definitely could at some point. Maybe if he, like, once the season starts out for him at Ulm. Nice pull by Jason. Not the greatest screen navigation there by Ace Bailey. His defense to me is hard to like I said before, the high school defense is so kind of arbitrary, and especially with a guy like Ace. Just like a lot of low effort stuff, like basically playing center for his high school team. Another nice jump. Another just face up jumper from Ace. Beautiful shot. His shot making is obviously the thing with him. Boozer. Whew, that's an NBA 3 or almost an NBA 3. Look at Boozer. There we go. Beautiful little look. Surprised that I made you. Yes, anytime. Thank you, Pookie man. I appreciate everyone who comes and supports the live. That's a questionable shot right there, I must say. But Ace Bailey's game is kind of, a lot of tougher shots. Mathurin. I can do Mathurin. I'm a Pacers fan, so no, I don't think Ace is the second best prospect in this draft. I have him like 7 or 8. I think like 7 or 8. It's a really stacked draft. I think it's less about my feelings about Ace and more just how highly I view a lot of the other prospects in this draft. Cam Boozer, movement 3. Okay, baby. Okay. Interested to see how Ace matches up with Boozer in this game because, as we all know, Boozer's one of the best prospects in the world, and I think Ace is just a little below that level. Do I think a lot of Ace's issues have to do with his low-level high school team? Yeah, I do. Not all of them. Like, I think that's a nice little pass to the corner. Great pass to the corner. But I do think Ace is kind of a limited separator. Like, the burst just isn't that great. Like, he struggles to really create force and explode. That's a really nice skip. But point being, I do think that his high school context can explain a lot of the issues. Yes, I mean he's basically like playing center on defense, right? He's asked to take a shitload of shots, and I think we've seen plenty of players who like scale down in usage and go to situations where they have other real players and improve as decision makers. So I do think, while not like just like a total get out of jail free card for Ace when it comes to like his situation explaining away his weaknesses, I do think for him more than guys like Boozer or Cooper Flag or Dylan Harper even like plays on a pretty good Lou High team. So yes, I do think that's a important consideration for Ace. Is he already on the bench here? Wait, where's? Damn, did they already take out Ace? Damn. Is he in foul trouble or what? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, but I'm surprised they benched him this early in the game. I don't know. Excited to see what Jace can do in this game, though. Beautiful play by Jace, man. Just like a really, really nice reject to screen pacing, reject the screen, throw the lob. Yeah, Jace is awesome. Very excited to see him at Michigan State this year. Look at Jace rotating down to protect the rim, baby. I love Jace, man. Look at your 6'2" point guard rotating to protect the rim. He's such a sick player. I love Jace. Yeah, most of people disagree with my Ace take, but that's fine. I have had plenty of most of my high school takes people disagree with, and I feel pretty confident in them, but we will see. I think the feel and IQ stuff is really hard to improve. It's kind of like a have it or you don't situation to me, and that's part of my concern with Ace. Like, that's a nice play though. Nice deflection with his length. Just not something that you can really improve to the level that I think he needs to, but he's still a very good prospect. I just don't value these like tough shot makers as much as a lot of people like in the consensus or the mainstream. I just don't think it's as valuable of a skill set as people tend to give it credit for. But Caden, yeah, I think Caden's a legit NBA prospect. Yes, not like I don't think he's like a lock to play in the league, but I think he's like at this stage, I'd say is like a decent chance to be an NBA guy. I don't think like he's good. I wouldn't like say he's like a lock NBA guy. Like I wouldn't be totally shocked. And Boozer, beautiful shot by Boozer. Wouldn't be totally shocked if Caden ended up being like a multi-year college guy. Just because he doesn't have like the level of physical tools and the juice and maybe some of his some of his like off dribble shooting isn't able to translate. But I do think Caden is a very good prospect. Yeah, Caden is not playing in this game, unfortunately. Um, but Caden is good. Yeah, I like Caden a lot. And just obviously overshadowed by good pull right there. A little crossover. Let's see what Ace can do here. Sidestep, bang, beautiful shot. Ace can absolutely hit the tough jumpers. I have plenty of questions with him. That is not one of the questions I have. He is a really awesome shooter, and that's some nice defense right there. Great start for Ace this game. Switching on to Jace here, containing the drive, contesting without fouling, really solid. This has been an excellent start to the game for Ace Bailey. Love to see it. Let's see what he's got here. Not really sure what he was. I guess it was kind of a window there. Kind of a window there. Ace struggling to create separation off the dribble, though. I think that's a notable concern for him is just the separation against high level athletes, and I don't mind the attempt, honestly. Even though it ends up getting deflected, I really don't mind it. I appreciate passers who try to fit into those high value windows, and I think Ace was absolutely doing it right there. So definitely not going to dock him for a play like that. Oh, Boozer's sitting down. Jace backdoor. Good deflection by Ace again. Length is really showing up on defense in this game for him, which is great to see. Just very hard to evaluate defense in settings like this where, like, again, Ace is like, your team has one high major, like you are the one high major talent, tallest player on the team. It's just going to warp the way that you play defense. Like, I don't think Ace is a particularly good rim protector for him. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have brought up the Miller thing, and there's definitely similarities, but I think Miller at the same stage was like a considerably better passer. But I do think that's a valid kind of analog, even though I view Miller's development as like a little bit outlier, and I think that's going to be like a hard thing to replicate. It looks like Ace, yeah, but I think there's some of that there, right? Where it's hard for me to really feel confident betting on guys like Miller just because like it's so rare to see players develop in the way he did, and the way that makes Miller a special player. And it's certainly possible that Ace does, but again, especially in this like super stacked draft class, there are plenty of other prospects who I think are higher ceiling bets, which is the main thing I think is just the ceiling with Ace is not. Yeah, that's just a really really bad shot. Yeah, I think the ceiling is just lower than like a Traore or a Dylan Harper or like a Yakachonis. A lot of the really elite guards in the class just are special players, and obviously Cooper. But all right, Boozer back in. Looks like Boozer sat for like 2 minutes there. I think it's probably safe to say. Let's see what we got with Cameron. That's too easy. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about how Ace improves as a screen navigator. This is one of my my main issues with Ace. Would I put VJ above Ace? Yes, I would. He was another guy who is in that tier. I just didn't think of off the top of my head. I would put VJ ahead of Ace. Yes. Yeah, there's definitely like the agility, some of the screen nav stuff I do have concerns about. And like the screen nav stuff is a concern for most taller wings. Like you have your Jaden McDaniels types who are just total outliers in terms of their ability to get around screens, right? But most guys are like most really tall wings struggle with that. It's just a hard thing to do if you're Was that ace finishing? Just all right, yeah, just good cleanup there. Good work. Oh, is he gonna block boozer three? Beautiful play. Good job. This has been a nice defensive game for Ace. Good pull. Oh boy, this quality is getting okay. We're back. Jace to Jackson. Jace Richardson with the ball. Jackson Richardson, both wearing the white undershirts. So I guess it's easier to identify them. Curious, what are your thoughts on Junie Mobley as far as like NBA ceiling? I think Junie's an NBA guy. Like probably will be like in the mold of like a peak Devonte Graham type player. I do think he can be better than Graham. Another defensive play by Ace, just killing on defense this game. Awesome, man. Yeah, I think Ace, not Ace. Junie to me is like the level of shooter where I really do believe in him making it work at the next level. And I think he's made some real strides as a playmaker and a dribbler over the last year or so that have me more optimistic in him as a legit NBA guy. Obviously, we'll see if those really translate to the college level. And, if they don't, then probably not much of an NBA guy in all likelihood. But if he can translate over some of the improvements he's made, like scary shot maker, just like Ace Bailey. If only Junie Mobley was that tall. If only Junie Mobley was that tall. Boozer, beautiful pass by Boozer. Bounce pass. Ace defending the rim. Not sure if he got that or if okay. No, I think number 5 is the one who knocked that ball away. But yeah, I could really see Junie being like a legitimately useful like off-ball shooter, and with those with these shooting guys, right? It's like there's always a chance that they hit this ceiling as just a special nuclear shooter, and then if so, right, like the sky's the limit, even despite the size. So I think these like potentially special shooters are usually worth betting on, as long as they have like some other stuff. And I think Junie has a good chance to have enough of the other stuff. But of course, small, like really short players are always just a gamble. But hey, that's what preseason is for, right? For being like, this guy, if things go well, is going to be awesome. And I really do think Junie could be one of those special shot makers. But yeah, I'm very very excited about him. He's one of the guys he is one of my this quality is terrible. He is one of my favorite players in all of high school basketball to watch. And I'm very excited to watch him play college because he's just a monster. They tried the backdoor play, didn't work there. I love Junie, yeah. All right, Ace. Let's see what we got. Good kick. Nothing crazy. Little fade. Okay. Good board. Ace is a really nice rebounder as well, which is just another good thing for him playing on the interior. Ooh, talk about Jace. Oh my goodness. Vicious. Beautiful behind the back, change directions, footwork. Man, I don't know if Jace is like an NBA player, but he is fun as hell. He is electric. His like AAU stuff last year with PG Elite, another questionable shot. Yeah, with PG Elite was just so much fun. Ooh. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Like, look at that window. Wrapping that around to Jackson. Yeah, just I think it really is important for pro level guards, especially pro level small guards, to be really creative players. And Jace is certainly a extremely creative basketball player, which is always good to see. I'm pretty sure Cam Boozer had a 40 ball in this game. It's been a fairly quiet Cam Boozer game by his standards so far, but I'm pretty sure he has 40 in this game. So we'll see if great board by Ace again. Mm. Hang on the rim like that. Grib, we're talking about Jace. I was talking about Jace right now, Grib. I'm a huge fan of his, at least as a player. I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's like um, a lock NBA guy per se, just because of some of like the size and creation issues at that size. But like he's a stud. He's awesome. Looks like we're taking Ace out of the game. Probably. Oh wait, no, Ace still in the game. Never mind. Oh, beautiful look. Ace can really pass from like a standstill. Like he's not the most dynamic playmaker on the move, and when it comes to like reading defenses, moving and reacting. But when he can just like set up in the post and just sling it to a cutter, he has the vision to do that. Like that's a really nice play. So in terms of his like post passing, I think he's definitely best. His best passing skill is that like post kind of passing to me. Boozer, all the way, easy. Yeah, Boozer just so fluid for a guy his size and strength. And I shall remind that Cam Boozer was 16 when this game happened, I believe. So just yeah, it's Cam Boozer. Let's see what Ace can do here. Step back. No dice. Ace again. Nice pass and transition. Very nice Ace Bailey performance today. All right. And by today, I mean this game from last November. But, today for me and today for us. Boozer just muscling his way. Deep three. Oh, that's first half. Okay. Ace. Let's see. Want to see more of this Boozer Ace matchup. I really do, because Ace got Boozer with the block earlier. Looks like Boozer's going to get Ace here, totally cutting off the baseline. Excellent job there by Boozer, cutting off baseline. Jackson Richardson. This is Abdullahi. I like Malik Abdullahi. He's going to Princeton, I believe. It's like a small 4, but he's a really fun player. Post fade. Don't love that shot, but that is the experience at the moment. Boozer, beautiful outlet pass. Just couldn't catch it, but love the gusto on that one. And whew, that's a shot. I mean, I don't mind Ace take, like I'd prefer Ace take the deep spot ups rather than like the face up contested shit, just because I think that translates better. Boozer can be a little jumpy on ball against these defenders. Like I don't think that's a concern long term or anything, but I do notice him getting taken off of his feet by these small guards who he usually defends pretty well initially, but like he'll jump when they get in the paint. Just a little fix that I noticed when I watch Boozer play. What other This is one of those plays where I want to put it on the roll man, right? Because Jace is anticipating that Abdullahi rolls into this space and he kind of hesitates and doesn't look like the most accurate pass regardless. But I do think a lot of these turnovers, it's like some of them are obviously on the passer, but if the passer expects you to cut and to roll and you don't do that, you're not going to get credited for the turnover. But a lot of the times it is going to be the fault of the guy who's not cutting, right? Especially if you're playing with a really anticipatory playmaker like just bonk. All right, why are we not working right now? Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the matchup we want. Good D, better O there. Or they're just Cam Boozer totally stonewalling him, Ace spinning over him, hitting a tough contested shot. I mean, that's the pitch with Ace, right? Just the shot making of that size. It's certainly a tantalizing proposition. Good shot by Jace. What the hell was that? See, this is another one I'm talking about of like this ball handler was certainly expecting Ace to keep cutting to the rim, and it's a good job by Abdullahi to cut him off, but still, it's like this looks like an ugly turnover from the handler, but he's expecting Ace to dive in, like he's probably expecting that. So good example of what I was kind of yapping about earlier, but. Ooh, another blocked three from Ace. It's been an excellent defensive performance. This is honestly one of the better Ace Bailey games that I've watched. This might be the best game that I've watched him play. I'm trying to think back to all the times that all the Ace Bailey games I've seen and I've charted and I've taken notes on. And I do think this might be the best one. He has been quite good in this game. Decent pass. Ace again in the corner. Yeah, definitely quite excited to see Ace at Rutgers. It's going to be a fun thing with him and Dylan. They're just going to be really cool together. We saw a little bit of Ace and Dylan playing together in AAU, but like Ace didn't play a ton of AAU ball to my knowledge. Nice little play. Good block by Boozer. This is about to be the quietest Cam Boozer 40 ball I've ever seen. With a grown man strength, just like plowing through. And the thing about like Boozer is that folks who are hiring him have talked about he's doing this while being younger than everyone else. Like there are players who like I think it can be concerning if players who are older and like more built just kind of run through defenders. But Boozer is 16 doing this against older players, just totally outmatching them physically, and that's just the Cam Boozer thing. And it's not like, again, I don't think he's fully filled out by any means. I think it would be hard for a 17-year-old to be fully filled out, right? Like just the nature of how existing works. And Jace. Ace with the ball. Oh, he's wide open. Pull that. Yeah, Ace certainly, like, I'm definitely curious about what like the off the catch shooting is going to look like for Ace at Rutgers, because he didn't get very many easy off the catch looks at McEachern. Just not the nature of how the team was. Like they relied on him to create on the ball so much, and they don't have a bunch of great guards or great passers or whatever. It's Iverson classic that just Jace can't hang on to. But yeah, I think Very curious to see how Ace does. I mean, I expect him to be good. Like my expectation is that Ace is going to do just fine as an off the catch shooter. Not the greatest decision in the world right there, but yeah, I'm assuming Ace is going to be just fine as an off catch shooter. But I do want to see it first, like, and just like what's the volume look like? What is the comfort level? Great offensive rebound again by Ace. Just great length, the coordination, the hang time. Yeah, just like what is the confidence level going to look like? What's the decisiveness level going to look like? How many threes is Ace going to get up off the ball? Because I do think there's a world where like we saw this, obviously, different level shooters, but like Paolo comes to mind as a guy who is like uncomfortable playing off the catch. And maybe there's some of that with Ace, but maybe he just comes in and is a nuclear off ball shooter right away. That also wouldn't shock me. Boozer, just grown man. So yeah, I'm curious about how Ace is going to adapt to his new role. Definitely one of the bigger role changes, at least that I can think of in terms of like what they had before and what's upcoming in the class. And nice jumper by Boozer. Quietest 40-point Cam Boozer game of all time. Nice fade. Just like, yeah, like this shot making is awesome, but I just really have trouble with basically anyone unless you're like Kevin Durant or someone like that, like relying on shots like that. It's just a very difficult thing to do. And more good defense by Ace. His length has just been very impactful in this game on the defensive end, which is great to see. Great pass by Boozer. Another tough fade. Boozer losing the ball there. Definitely can improve his handle as Boozer continues to get better. Like he can definitely lose the ball when guys are just gonna like. Was I fond of Miller before Alabama? I think I was about like consensus. Like what? Like consensus viewed him as like a interesting long-term prospect, but not like a top 3 guy. And then he totally broke out. It definitely took me a bit to warm up to Miller in the season, but he did also make huge strides across his one season at Alabama. Like the player that Miller was day one at Bama was a lot different. The player that Miller was in the tournament. But I definitely like tend to be lower on these archetypes. And again, I think for every like for every Brandon Miller, you have like a Cam Reddish, a Kevin Knox type. So I do think it's possible that Ace becomes a guy like Miller, but I feel like people, just because of like some recency bias, because we just saw Brandon Miller do what he did in like a similar-ish build. I don't particularly think they're that similar, aside from just like the tall, lanky shooters. There we go. I like to see him pull confidently off the catch. And I'm still probably lower on Miller than most people. Like, obviously, he's good. He's very, very good. As you know, as I just did a video on Miller, but I'm not like taking him 2 or anything in a redraft. Obviously, he went 2, but I digress. There's multiple players in that draft, so I'd still feel comfortable taking over Miller. But like I said, just like philosophy things, archetypes, ceiling, all that stuff, and oh boy, look at that quality. In terms of defending the perimeter, TBD, I guess, is my great pass by Boozer. Quick decision. TBD, I guess. Like he was not he has not been good at it pre-high school, and like I kind of alluded to before, I think some of, like, the agility concerns, just another this is again, like, my issues with Ace, the not creating any space, settling for tough shots, and I do think a lot of this is probably product of, like, the high school context that he's in, but I do think it's a notable enough concern. I think Ace, like, theoretically has, like, the tools to be an impactful perimeter defender, like, he's very long and fluid, um, so I think he'll be good enough. Like, I wouldn't bet on Ace being, like, a great defender at any point, just because, like, the really elite defenders usually show it early. Obviously, there are exceptions to that rule, but yeah, I think, like, the strength and the screen navigation are my biggest concerns with Ace defending the perimeter. Um, he's, like, not the strongest, not the most explosive guy, and obviously he can get strength, but he can and probably will add strength. But I do think, one, it's like, how do you add strength with while maintaining the ridiculous, like, mobility coordination advantage that Ace has that makes him so special of, like, a mover and an athlete? But yeah, and then just, like, to what extent can, like, the feel and the off ball stuff? Like, I think he's, like, a fine, like, a pretty, like, I don't know, like, a pretty not noteworthy defender at this point. Like, I wouldn't expect him to be amazing. Um, higher upside, Isaiah Evans. Yeah, I mean, they're similar, honestly. Yeah, I do think that's probably honestly pretty accurate. I do like Isaiah Evans though. I think Evans is probably a better defender than Ace at this point. I'd say definitely a better defender than Ace at this point. Just like no, like, no question about that. But obviously, Ace is, way better movement coordination, athlete, better offensive player. Yeah. Um, who would I take over Miller? Amen and Asar for sure. And then I'm still probably taking Scoot. Um, I'm going to give it another year with Scoot. I believe in him enough as a prospect. I believe in the flashes and the ceiling, but I could see myself swapping on that if, the year starts and Scoot ends up still looking rough and Miller keeps looking great. And then also Jarris Walker, who I was insanely high on, I thought was really great in his limited minutes and was fantastic in the G League. And as someone who I could expect, like, we see Jarris Walker playing NBA minutes and he didn't, it's like, oh shit, this guy is insanely good right away. But I think after, definitely a Men and a Sar I prefer. But after that, I think you can argue him. That's just again, I think the ceiling for a Men and a Sar. Yeah, Grib, I think Jace is fun. I don't think he's like like I said, I don't think Jace is like is like a lock NBA guy or anything, but I really enjoy his game. Just like very creative, high energy player, but I don't think is I don't think is like a lock NBA player, but the stats are good. I think he's certainly a good player at this level. Also, probably, some inflation from playing with good teammates. And his PG, the PG elite teams were pretty good, if I remember right. Like, they had a decent amount of talent alongside Jace, but yeah, I do enjoy Jace a lot. I would say Jackson is probably the better long-term prospect though than Jace. Obviously just like way younger, but let's see what we got. This is the matchup I want. Yeah, Boozer losing his handle. Good D by Ace. Yeah, just foul. Very foul prone. I mean, that's just going to be the thing. Like, definitely wouldn't freak out about any young defender being overly foul prone. I mean, it's just a very common thing for young defenders to, gamble and foul a lot. And just another easy drive by Boozer. Great Euro step. The footwork for him is just so awesome. But yeah, I think Ace is, like, I do think it's like the defense is a big unknown. And I feel like Ace is just a guy who, like, I have a lot more unknowns about than a lot of the other prospects in this class. Just totally torched, torched off the dribble right there. When Boozer can like get a shoulder into you, it is so over. Like when he can play with that with like good leverage and flexibility, like there's very few defenders who can do anything to stop him. Need need Ace to do a collab with the Costco guys. I assume you mean Baba Oladotun, right? I haven't really seen enough of him to have like a smart opinion about him. Seems cool though. I've watched some like clips and highlights. And he seemed like a cool shot maker at that size and height. I haven't like charted any of his games or taken any notes on him, so I don't have any like extensive thoughts. Jalen Johnson All-Star, I could see it. I think I'm still a little bit, I've got a little bit of ways to go before I feel like, All-Star with Jalen Johnson scoring notably. I just want to see him. Yeah, ace handle also needs work. But yeah, I would buy Shaedon. Yeah, Whitmore is great. I definitely also like Shaedon. Hopefully can stay healthy this year because he was making some real impressive strides. Looks like this is just going to be garbage time. So yeah, he was making some real impressive strides. Towards the end of that. Yeah, just a shorter stream today. If anybody else has any questions or thoughts they want to get in before I close it out, just let me know. Otherwise, thanks everyone for differences between Amen and Asar. Amen is just a much more advanced creator. The first step difference is huge. The playmaking feel is the main difference. Like he just has that like next level creative passing feel stuff that Asar is like good, very good, but just not elite in the same way that Amen is. And Asar I think is better on defense than Amen. Like just the way that he moves, the way that he covers large areas of ground, probably just lends better to defensive success than Amen. I mean, Amen's also going to be an amazing defender, but I think Asar probably has his number on that, and like slightly better shooter maybe. I mean, they're both pretty rough shooting wise, but at least pre-draft, I thought Asar had more hope than Amen as a shooter. But it's not looking great for either of them at the moment. But I think they're special enough in other ways to that I'm not extremely concerned. I mean, I'm definitely a little concerned about Asar, but not really about Amen. Still think the ceiling with those guys really high. But anyways, thanks everyone for hopping on the stream.